The third issue of The Rise of Kylo Ren just recently came out. Like the previous two, it had a decent amount to discuss, so today I'm going to break it down. Everything starts off with Ben catching up with the Knights of Ren, as they all just chill at a cantina. Their leader, who's just known as Ren, welcomes him and says Snoke told them he was coming. He wants to see if they can all be friends, and wants to hear about Ben's initiation, and now I can't stop thinking of the Knights of Ren as a frat. Just a bunch of bros hanging out at a bar, looking for other like-minded bros. But their initiation is what they call a good death, the murder of someone close to them, and so Ren asks to hear about Ben's first kill and what each potential victim meant to him. So we flash back to younger days with Ben and three other students, Vo, Hennix, and Ty. Vo was my favorite to learn about. She is very competitive with the Force, frustrated that Ben is just naturally stronger than her, and then Luke pops in with a great explanation of how the Force works. He says that Ben is not stronger and that nobody is stronger than anyone else. The Force will flow more easily through someone the more they open themselves up to it. He compares that opening to a door that can be opened or closed at any time. Any person that can sense the Force can open the door wide, but some people just innately start out with the door open a little bit more. They're just more open to the Force to begin with. I love that explanation because it's very much in line with how I feel about the Force. It's not about midichlorians or lineage. Anyone who's opened themselves up to the Force at all has the potential to feel the Force as strongly as a flood. Great stuff. Despite all of that, Vo still has trouble with competition. She sees the Force as something she can win. She tried to best Ben at everything, hoping she could be the best at something, but she failed and she was so focused on comparing herself to someone else that she forgot to just be who she was. This all reminded me of Yoda's line in Revenge of the Sith, saying that jealousy is the shadow of greed. Vo is jealous of Ben and she wanted more power for herself. She was getting greedy, and when she didn't get what she wanted, she got angry, and you can see that through the rest of her interactions with Ben. She is angry. She's not willing to listen to Ty or Hennix, who are much more measured and want to just talk things out with Ben. It's like she's been looking for an excuse to destroy him and she's blinded by the chance. Ben's not the only Jedi struggling with the dark side in this story. We also get some history for Ty and Hennix. Ty shows himself to be able to see into other people's minds, and it makes him highly empathetic. He looks like he's a good friend to Ben growing up. Hennix saw the Force as a puzzle to be solved, and he loved seeking knowledge. He works with Luke to open up a holocron, and we see a new Jedi, and I'm about to go into pure speculation mode here, but two of Soule's recent comic issues have had some sort of connection with the High Republic. Charles Soule is a Project Luminous writer, and if that is the subject of the upcoming collection of stories, I'm wondering if this third issue also has a connection. Maybe this Jedi Hennix uncovers is from the High Republic era. Maybe it's one of Soule's characters for whatever comic he's writing, a Jedi Knight from 4 centuries earlier, but that's just a guess. After Ben explains what each of the students meant to him, Ren asks him to tell him more about the fight itself. Hennix is killed during the fight, but of course there is more to it than that. In fact, I wouldn't even consider his death completely Ben's fault. Ben tries to escape, but Vo jumps after him, determined to keep up. Ben force pushes her off a cliff, but immediately realizes what he's done and catches her. Hennix just sees the push and assumes Vo is killed, and so he throws his saber at Ben, which destroys his focus. Vo falls, but is caught by Ty, and Hennix's own lightsaber comes back to him, and he isn't able to catch it. Instead, it kills him. Vo and Ty hear the scream, and again, just assume Ben killed their friend. This whole situation reminds me of another prequel quote. This conflict represents a failure to listen. No one wants to just sit and talk about what happened. If Ben and the others would just communicate, things wouldn't spiral out of control the way they are. But with no communication, everyone assumes the worst, and things continue to go down the toilet. Ben leaves to find the Knights, but Ty read his mind and knows where he's headed. Meanwhile, the Knights are unsure about Ben. Ren is unimpressed by Hennix's death because it wasn't actually something Ben wanted, but since Snoke vouched for him, they dress him in all black and let him hang with them until they decide whether or not they like him. And that's the end of issue 3. I know some people lost enthusiasm for this series after Ben Solo died in The Rise of Skywalker, but I'm still very into it. I love what it has to say, not just about Ben, but about the Force as well. Charles Soule nails everything he writes. But that's it for today. Let me know what you thought of the issue in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.